Welcome to a very quick conversation about your upcoming Fulton County Property Tax Appeal Board of Equalization hearing. That was a mouthful, but I hope that it was worth it to ensure that you are fully informed about this upcoming process and what you can do to prepare. So thank you for joining us and supporting the Atlanta Beltline Partnerships Empower program. A very special thanks to Stacey Reynolds of Atlanta Legal Aid for their continued contributions to this program and to educating, advocating for, and working with the community to better understand complicated legal processes. I'm Marion Davis, the Empower Program Manager with the Atlanta Beltline Partnership. And if you've joined us, I'm assuming that you've submitted your appeal and either have or will receive a notice regarding the decision on that appeal or a notice about attending a hearing. So let's get right into it and get prepared for this hearing. So first, the tax bill. When there's an appeal pending, a temporary tax bill will be sent and you need to pay it. A final bill will be issued at the end of the process, so be sure to save money in case there are additional taxes that are owed. Stacey, once they pay the temporary bill, how will they receive their money back if they're awarded a lower value at the end of the process?
Well, if the value ends up being lower than the temporary tax bill value, then the tax office will automatically send refund checks for the taxes that were overpaid. I will say the temporary tax bill is usually set at either last year's value or 85% of the appraised value. So a lot of times, even if you get a reduction in your notice of assessment value, it still may be higher than that temporary tax bill. So a lot of times there is a little bit of tax still owed. So save for it.
Great. Okay, makes sense. So let's go to the notice. So the two notices that we'll be focused on right now are the change 30-day notice or the BOE hearing notice. So if you receive a change 30-day notice, you have 30 days to appeal this new value through a written notice to the tax assessor's office. If you received a Board of Equalization hearing notice, you have the right to reschedule once. And also, if you sign a written letter of authorization, you can have someone represent you in the hearing.
I'll chime in just real quick. The 30-day change notice is actually going to look a lot like another notice of assessment. And so a lot of people think that that's what it is. It's not. It's actually a notice of a change in your value. And so you want to be sure to appeal it within that 30-day window. So the time to appeal is not as long with this notice as it was with the notice of assessment. And then I also want to add that on the Board of Equalization hearing notice, if you don't get that change notice, what you'll get is a no change notice that says that they're sending it to the Board of Equalization, and then you'll get another notice notifying you that they've scheduled a hearing.
Very good to know. Okay, so let's go to the hearing. So in the room, there'll be, well, first, hearings have been scheduled as early as next week and might continue into next year. So look out for that and let's get prepared for that. But in the room, there'll be 3 property owners from your county who received training to evaluate the appeals, and they make up the Board of Equalization panel. There'll also be 1 appraiser, and there'll be you. You must be on time, and you only have about 10 minutes to give your argument for a lower value. So that's what today is about, getting you organized and prepared to make a concise argument, with concise being the key word, because 10 minutes goes by very quickly. Then the appraiser will also be given about 10 minutes to argue for their value. And then the board will decide the value and provide a decision by the end of that meeting.
That covers it. The only thing I want to stress is that, you're talking to 3 individuals who are just like you, taxpayers like you. It's not that scary. You can do it.
Yeah, when I went in, it seemed intimidating at first, but once everything kind of got rolling and I had my documents together, I felt a lot more at ease. And they were really knowledgeable and really kind about it. They knew it was my first time. So it wasn't, that bad. I did kind of see the human in them. So
Yeah.
it was awesome. Okay, so supporting documents, the documents. So now's the time to gather all the documents you need to support your appeal. And you want to do that as soon as you receive the hearing notice. There's no right way to do this, but we have a few ways that have worked for me and for some others in the past. But at the end of the day, just make yourself feel confident about going in to sharing the information that you had with those panel members. If you attended our one-on-one property tax appeal consultation sessions, we had amazing volunteers that committed time to completing comparable research about your property and those like yours that were valued differently. So we can follow up with you on that research done for your property. And I also have a form for you to request that we're going to have in the chat for you, along with some other information that I will refer to a little bit later in our webinar. But also, we can only send research that was previously completed during the one-on-one consultation session. And we're not able to complete any new research this time. So thank you for being understanding with that. But our volunteers definitely helped us. It's tedious a little bit, but they went in and did that for us. We do, however, have instructions for you to complete that research on your own if you did not have that prior to submitting your appeal, or you don't have access to that through our one-on-one consultation sessions from this year. So that is included in the chat as well. So once we have that comparison research results, we also have other information that you might need to collect on your property. It could be missing or incorrect information that was not in your evaluation. It could be pictures of the property that would support your condition claims. But the most important thing is that you have all the thoughts organized. Create something that you can use kind of a glance, something that a document, one piece of paper, whether it's written down, whether it's on your computer, have something that as they're asking you things, you'll be able to just kind of look and get the answer. That was very helpful for me because it stopped me from, rifling through papers or over explaining things that they weren't asking me. And it made my time, I was able to utilize my time a lot better by doing that, as opposed to kind of wasting time by searching for my research.
Yeah, I mean, I think your lived experience is the best statement for that. The main thing is, think about why your property should have a lower value, and then what evidence you have that would support that.
And while you mentioned that, I put in a sample of something that we've used. I know with our one-on-one consultation sessions, when we had to put our comments about why we were asking for that lower value, this is some of the comments, kind of like an outline that we used to help people to do that and help our volunteers help our clients do that. I also use this as a reference for myself with some additional things kind of put over to the side, so that when I was letting them know exactly like why I was here, what I was looking for, I already had the things plugged in and I already had kind of a statement in mind to use at that time.
Yeah, and on that statement, you may want to put, what the value is that you want it to be. And the value that you're asserting doesn't have to be what you used in your initial appeal. It can be, but it could be higher or lower depending on, what you're comfortable arguing. And just keep hammering that, these things are what support that lower value.
Yep. And then, so for the follow-up, after the decision, after the hearing, you'll receive a written decision. And then you have the right to appeal this to Superior Court by submitting a petition to review within 30 days of that decision. Again, we do have in the chat all of these referenced that you can use to submit that appeal. Not submit the appeal, but to get the comps, to submit the petition for review. The link is there as well. Also, at the Fulton County Tax Assessor website, it has a lot of information about what you need to do, what you need to access, but it also has the information for if you're wanting on the supporting document end to find out what the assessor is bringing to the table, what evidence they might have. You can actually go to their portal and request that they provide that information to you so that you can prepare yourself to speak before the panel while knowing what the appraiser might bring as evidence as well. And that's listed in the chat under the Board of Assessors, or I'm sorry, Tax Assessors Office website link. And I think that's it. So thank you guys so much for coming. I definitely wish you best of luck on your hearings. I also ask that you please let us know how your hearings have gone. We'll send out a survey to you as well, just to check in with you to see how everything worked out for you, what other things we can help you with in the future, and what information we could have provided to you to either make it easier or something that you felt that you were missing. But it is our mission to help you stay in your neighborhoods. We appreciate you for all of your support. We appreciate Stacy and Atlanta Legal Aid for all of their support and their hard work. And we hope that you will stay connected with us in the workshops that we have to offer in the future. So thank you.